Welcome back into another episode of Climbing the Summit podcast, where the ultimate summit is self-discovery, self-realization. And I was watching the movie Gran Turismo 7. And I don't know if you guys know what that is. It's a video game that started out on, I think it was PlayStation 1 or 2, and it was Gran Turismo 1. And I remember spending hours in this game looking at things like flywheels and little bitty pieces of cars that you wouldn't find on any other game. So Gran Turismo is a simulator. So it's just as if you are in a real car, just in a video game format. And this movie, the plot of the movie is we're gonna take the best gamer in the world and we're gonna see if we can throw him in a race car and we're gonna see how this guy does. And all I could see the entire time where I was watching the movie was climbing the summit, going on learning curves. And the movie was fantastic. It's based on a true story, so this actually happened. I didn't know it was called Nizan, but it is. And throughout the movie, this guy goes through different iterations of the hero's journey. He doesn't want to leave home, but then he does. Then he gets into the thing and he finds out that he's better than he thought he was. And then it's a last minute thing or else he won't make it. And the entire time, I started thinking about my own life. And I think this is true anytime we hear truth or we see truth in our own lives. We have an opportunity to look inside of ourselves without this judgmental eye and look at what is the thing that we actually need to do in order to get closer to our goal. And as I was talking to my friend Rob Cook yesterday on his podcast, we got to talking about unconventional mindsets. And he was like, bro, you have an unconventional mindset. Can you tell me a little bit about it? And I was like, sure, man, I can tell you about it. I don't think it's unconventional because it's my mindset. I think it's conventional in my world. But I do see how whenever I go and I talk to clients, whenever I talk to new people, my mindset actually gives people a little bit of freedom, a little bit of lightness so that they can play in their lives in a different way. And that's ultimately what I hope for each and every one of you out there, is that you get an opportunity to go do something that you enjoy doing and then to see exactly who you become in the process. And as I'm reading the book Inner Excellence, I recognize that there is a difference between goals and dreams. And this was a struggle for me for a long time. So I'm very thankful for the book, very thankful for everything that's happened in my life up to this point to kind of help me to see this. And that my dream in some ways is just to raise my own level of expertise, excellence, being. So Michael Neal would say, why aren't you more awesomer? My goal is to be more awesomer. And in that process, as I learn and I grow, I love sharing with other people in order so that other people can become more awesomer, can achieve excellence in their own lives. So the dream, right? The dream versus a goal. A goal is I want to go out and be the best Danny Coppin that there can be, right? Now, my dream, the way I see that happening is I learn, I grow, I share. And if the goal is to make sure that people transform, make sure people have a better life, there are so many things in the way that I cannot control about someone else living their best life. Now, the things that I can control are how I show up, what I'm out there learning, how I'm growing, how I'm taking my learning curve, how I'm taking my personal mountain. And as I reach the pinnacle of those little baby mountains, as I find myself better at yoga teaching, or I find myself better at coaching or podcasting, like the feeling of doing the thing brings me joy. The moment I make it about money, the moment I make it about something that is outside of my control, I then lose the freedom to enjoy the journey. I had a friend named Dan Crothers. I miss Dan. I need to hit him up actually. And Dan used to say that in The Wizard of Oz, there's that yellow brick road. And in life, we think that we're supposed to follow the yellow brick road because at the end of the road, there is a pot of gold, there is a rainbow, there is the thing that you're looking for. When in actuality, the fact that the road is gold is the key to where you should be paying attention. Each and every step on your journey is an opportunity to learn, an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to see who it is that you truly are as an individual. Now, don't get me wrong. For the longest time, I thought the goal was to jump from where I thought I was. Okay, so I want to be the best yoga teacher in the world. I want to be the best life coach in the world. I want to be the best podcaster in the world. So let me go ahead and start utilizing my talents, abilities, and gifts in such a way that I'm going for that goal. I'm going out there and I'm trying to get to the tip top of my mountain each and every day. And it was a struggle. It was hard. It was rough. The reason why is because I wasn't following the yellow brick road up the mountain. I wasn't taking each and every step as an opportunity to see who I am. I thought the goal was to be the best possible person that I could be, which in a way it is, but I would put that in an outside in way. All right, well, if I become the best podcaster in the world, well, then I can feel good about myself. But ultimately, that's not how you and I work as human beings. If we enjoy what we're doing today, that gives us the best possible chance for success. And that's what we want, right? Is we want to feel good about our expenditure of energy, if you will. Right? So I've been talking to people about Michael Phelps, and the Gran Turismo, the movie actually had led me to thinking about these things in my life. It's like, okay, so Michael Phelps, Anthony Edwards, who is the best he was the number one basketball player in high school, and then he gets to the NBA and he's a phenomenal player, plays for the Timberwolves. And I look at these people and I think to myself, okay, these guys were not just the best in their city. They weren't the best in their state. They were best in their country. In the case of Michael Phelps, he wasn't just the best in his country, he was the best in the world. And how did he get there? He was willing to sacrifice certain things in order to go and work at the thing that he enjoyed. And the reason why he enjoyed doing those things is, for whatever reason, his life, his circumstances, his conditioning sent him in that direction. And each and every one of you out there has that thing that you enjoy. You may not be a Michael Phelps, right? Like, my body's not designed for swimming. You might not be an Anthony Edwards. You might not be the number one rated basketball player in your state or in the country. You might not make it to the NBA. My body's not designed for that. I'm 5'7". I know there was Spud Webb. Spud Webb had a totally different lifestyle. He grew up, actually, I don't know if you guys know who Spud Webb is, just a quick sidebar. Spud Webb was a basketball player. He was 5'5". He was in the NBA and he was fantastic. Like, you couldn't stop the guy. And according to like his history, whenever he was young, his parents were shot in front of him, and he had to bounce back from that. And that conditioning, that whatever played into his young life led him to believe that he could do anything. Even at 5'5", he could go be in the NBA. Now, does it help that he had a 70-something inch vertical? Probably. That helped a little bit, right? But that's okay, because you have natural abilities, you have natural talents, you have natural gifts, and you have that thing that you enjoy doing, whether you're good at it or not. And thinking that you have to be good at something ultimately keeps you from trying new things. And if you truly want to enjoy your life, if you truly want to find freedom and joy, you're going to have to try new things, and you're going to fail. And you're going to fail a lot. And that's all right. Because when you're climbing up your personal summit, failure is part of the journey. Stopping, refreshing, trying to get a little bit of clarity on where you are on your journey is helpful. And that's what my coaching is about, is ultimately, how do we slow down in life and spend one boring hour together where we're investigating the truth of what your experience of life is. And in that navigation of life, those twists and turns, there's these little minute shifts that can change, that will change the entirety of your life. So in the movie Gran Turismo, the guy is racing and he's got to get 4th place in order to get a license. And I'm not going to spoil the whole movie, but this might be a little bit of a spoiler. So if you're going to go out and watch it, you might not want to hear this next part. Is a guy comes up behind him and he just barely bumps him on the back and he spins out. And everybody's questioning whether this guy should be a racer at all because that was like a rookie move. And what I kept saying throughout the movie is, how come when everybody else crashes out, there's no complaint about this guy who needs to, oh, that guy right there shouldn't be a racer because he spun out. And it's because when you're a noob, when you're a rookie, when you just come to the game, people are scared of who you are. People are scared of your abilities. People are scared of your talents. And they may never tell you how good you could potentially be. But what I've learned is that friendly competition, even if it doesn't feel friendly, but like, I want what's best for you. I want you to do your absolute best, so that I have to up my game allows me this energy, this clean burning energy to move up my personal summit in such a way that's helpful, positive, and engaging for others. And I hope that this has been helpful for you, because whether you watch the movie Gran Turismo or not, whether you know anything about PlayStation or basketball or swimming and Michael Phelps, whether you know anything about that, ultimately what's most important for you to take away from today is wherever you are on your journey is perfectly fine. Because if you are at the bottom of the mountain and you think you're in the middle of the mountain, you're gonna show up differently. So show up where you are, get to climbing your personal summit, and enjoy the steps along the journey. And that's how effortless success is created. Whenever you go into a situation and you show up to what shows up, and you just do your absolute best, that's going to give you the best chance for success in the next time, the next time, and the next time. So as you go out and you're living your life, keep climbing your personal summit, and we'll check you out next time.